Hey everyone, Miss Cutrera here. Today we're going to be drawing the easy version of MAUI. So get yourself ready. We're going to start. Here we go. Alright, so here we have our alcohol markers, we have our color pencils, we have our special paint markers. All of it is linked down in the description. And if you are using your own supplies, that is completely fine as well. So we're going to start off with his hair, MAUI. Gonna go one side here, kind of making little zigzags, and then coming back around for the bottom part of his head, top part, and the side, coming around his eyes. We're gonna do two little circles. Now this marker I'm using is a little hard to get some of the details, so ideally I kind of want to get a thinner one. Like I have this Sharpie that is pretty thin, but the only problem is it kind of bleeds with the alcohol marker. So that's why I like this paint marker that is more permanent. So we might have to try to get a thinner paint marker. Alright, so there is the nose and the mouth. You guys pause it if I go too fast, if you're copying along. I hope you guys follow along. Practice, practice, practice. Get better. And here is the arm. And usually every drawing I do, I see a bunch of mistakes. Like the eyes, I feel like need to be a little thinner to get better detail, but most people won't even tell. So same thing with you guys. A lot of you guys, when I see my students in my art class, sometimes they get frustrated and theirs actually looks really good, but they see all their mistakes. So try to keep going and not get caught up on mistakes. So here is Maui's I don't even know what it's called. It's like this big hook sword thing that he has. I think it has something to do with his superpowers. I think where he changes shapes and stuff. Different shape shifting or something like that. Alright, so then we have his other arm here and it's overlapping. So this is a simple drawing, but there's a lot of overlapping. So one arm is in front of the other, and then the sword is behind his arms, which is in front of his body. So there's multiple things overlapping. Alright, so now for the waist right here. And then we'll come across with the sword. Like that. Coming back around. This one was really fun, and when we start to do the tattoos, it's gonna look really good. So I'm excited for that, for this finished. Alright, then the sword is also in the sand. So you guys saw that where it kind of has a little sand down there and it looks realistic. So this is actually from the Moana 1. And then I'm going to do a face of the advanced version of MAUI that's going to be based off of Moana 2. Alright, so we have some of these leaves that is for his clothes. He has some sort of Hawaiian clothing that's basically like a dress that the guys wear, some sort of short dress thing that the Hawaiian people wear. So remember, when you do hair, in clothes, I was saying last video, especially for the leaves, it doesn't have to be perfect. If your leaves look slightly different than mine, that is completely fine. But when you do things that everyone will notice, like the face, you want to try to make that a little bit more copy mine. Alright, so let's do the toes here. They're really small, so we have the big toe, then the middle, and then, or the next toe, and then the small, it gets smaller and smaller. So you can, since it's so small, we don't have to put too much detail. Alright, like that, and then it's just same thing on the other side. And then the leaves, I'm going to take a long time to try to make some overlapping. And I'm going to fast forward the part where we do the tattoos on the top. That's when we're going to be coloring it in. So make sure you guys pay close attention when I color it in so you guys can kind of see the process of coloring. Remember we do that base layer. Then we add some shadows and highlights. And the last touches, I'm always at the end. I'm like, all right, I think I'm done. I think I drew enough. It looks good. And then I just add that extra bit of shadows and highlights with the colored pencil. And it just looks so much better. So usually when you guys are tired or you just feel like it's good, you just push yourself a little farther and it looks a lot better. Alright, so there's some of these leaves. This one is more detailed. We have different shapes. We have some overlapping. We have the back of his leg right here. And then we have more of the leaves. So there's multiple layers, like I said, overlapping. Then the other leg is kind of hiding behind the sword, so we can't see that. Alright, let's do some more on this side. And remember, when you guys are doing yours too, you can... One of my students said, Mr. Cutrera, you should do the background. And I did do the background on one of them before and actually restarted because I messed up. But the background does take a lot of extra time. And this drawing took me about an hour total because the coloring took a long time. So this part of the drawing took me about 13 to 15 minutes. But then coloring took me like another 55 minutes or something like that. So it is very time consuming. And it would look better for the background. So maybe in the future, I'll do some with maybe a simpler background or a more detailed background. Let me know in the comments if you're really interested in the background or do you rather see more designs. I have a lot of requests from some of my students for some new designs. I got a big list of all these things I want to do. So I'll try to make more videos weekly. Alright, so we just finished the clothes. We finished doing his little ear and then the hair on the top. Now he has like a necklace that has like shark teeth and different animals that he probably went into battle with or something like that. So he has their teeth, or maybe he found it. So that's what we're doing right now, and then we're going to be done and we're going to fast forward and you guys will see how good it looks when we color it. So right now it just looks average and it's going to come to life. I'll talk to you guys at the end about our process. So I'll see you guys in a few minutes. Here we go. All right, as we're finishing up, let's talk about what we are doing here. So right now we're doing the tattoos, and I pushed myself to really do the details, try to make it actually look like his tattoos are. And I put a lot of time into that, and I think it looked really good. And I just like the overall drawing a lot. So I'm glad I put in the extra effort. Also for the eyes, I used my white paint marker to make the eyes a little bigger, because remember I said I felt like the eyes were too small, so that helped out a lot. I could have done a little bit maybe of some reflection in his eyes, but right here I'm doing the color pencil, so I'm going over everything where I see highlights, and then we're doing the shadows. So it turned out amazing. I'm excited for the advanced version. Thanks guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys hit that like button. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.